We'd like to welcome everybody to today's Zoom webinar on the natural vibrational healing. My name is Sandra Combe and my co-host Liz Dooley is from Ireland. But unfortunately at this moment, I think due to all the exciting Lionsgate 8-8 energy, she has not been able to reconnect. So we're going to go ahead and get started and just have some faith and trust that she will be able to join us. Everybody has been muted and we have turned off the videos for privacy. We're hoping at this time that you could spend with us, that you would remove any distractions that you may have. And at the end of the recording, we are recording this for those that are unable to join us at the live session. We will have a hello at the end. We'd like to start by connecting our hearts and ask that everybody close their eyes for a moment of silence as we set the intention. Let us take in 3 breaths of life force energy, breathing in love and peace, and breathing out stress and fear. Love and peace, stress and fear. While our eyes are closed, let us set an intention in this very powerful day known as the Lionsgate activation of August the 8th, starting at 8 o'clock in Ireland time. May we gain a new perspective on self-healing. May this program bring clarity and unveil the more truth that will set us free. This is a Trinity awakening program. Let us open our eyes to a new experience, a new direction on our path. A Trinity awakening of the spirit, the mind, and the body. If you are triggered today, thank the universe. This gives us the opportunity to release what longer serves us. Let us move on today beyond limitations as we take in this program, the power of self-love and self-healing the emotional pain body, so that we can move today beyond the limitations from surviving to existing to living. We hope that this program will plant the seeds. Will plant the seeds for us to grow. The power of this Lionsgate activation today, for those that are into numerology and astrology, is a cosmic alignment. It's where the astrological signs of the sun and the Leo, the lion, the zodiac of the heart and the voice come together and are supercharged with activation for change and transformation, just like this program. Our opening slide shows the lion with the heart, the strength, the courage, and the truth. This is a part 1 series. And the mantra that we open up with is peace, be still, and know that I am God. We hope that this program will awaken your inner power, will awaken your heart wisdom, will have you move beyond consciousness and spirit and look at the evolution of the new world. Our next series will continue to go deeper as we bridge science and spirituality. Today, we look at the power of the self, which is the spirit, the mind, and the body. Our world is awakening to a new human story. And I am thankful that you are able to share this with me and Liz today. And hopefully Liz will join in from Ireland any moment with her magical Tibetan ancient bowls. The program today is we've connected our hearts and our intention. We've provided an opening of this Trinity awakening, the Trinity of the spirit, the mind, and the body. Possibly with the intention that the mind, the ego, has separated from the heart. And we're looking today to realign the spirit, mind, and body connection. Next week, we'll be moving into the self-healing of the emotional pain body and looking beyond the chakras and the elements that connect nature with our own human experience. We're hoping today that our program can be a catalyst for change, because this is a new emerging world of uncharted consciousness. For those that don't know Liz, I'm going to introduce her. And once again, I'm hoping that she will join us in progress, as it's always interesting that the world is having some great energy at this time. But Liz is a professional wellness therapist. I've known her from Ireland for at least 10 years. She is a specialist in behavioral management. She works at the Creek Wellness Center as a consultant therapist. She is a master of Chinese medicine and has studied acupressure and acupuncture. She leads us in meditations of the Tibetan ancient bowls, which are beautiful sound healing at the cellular level. She has a website. She does spirit, mind, and body natural healing workshops, Reiki, Rising Star, cranial sacral. Her list of credentials goes on and on, but what I would say mostly about Liz is that she has an open heart, and she has 6 kids. She's moving to link all the generations together, and she's a perfect person to co-host this Zoom webinar. This is our 9th program, and my name is Sandra Combe. I am a natural health and wellness teacher. I come with a lot of business leadership, the MBA logical side. I have a mother-daughter wellness business of Kindred Spirit Connections. And I'd have to say for 31 years, I've worked out in corporate America as an environmental coordinator. I'm also a Rising Star Healing System practitioner and teacher. And you'll be hearing a bit about that today, as the Rising Star directs energy through our chakras to raise our vibration and life force, to align once again the elements of the earth, water, fire, air, and ethers, the 5 elements of nature that are the same 5 elements within us. I've done a lot of mindfulness and meditation workshops, and this particular picture is, I had the privilege in October in 2019 to go to India. And this is a picture in Puttaparthi, India. And I look 20 years younger with 12 days of no meat, with no alcohol, and so much water, and learning a new side of compassion in India. Now we're going to open to the power of self-love. This picture is a picture of all the elements on the planet that work in cooperation: earth, water, fire, air, and ethers. I'm just getting some signals that people aren't being able to hear me. So I'm going to go ahead and continue this recording, hoping that somebody might be able to put a hand up with everybody being muted, that they can hear this program moving forward. If not, wow, what's some universal energy going on? Change your thoughts and change your life. The opening of this program starts with a wonderful change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, from Wayne Dyer, who is a wonderful inspirational author. And the thing about this is it's so relevant today with our program of the power of self-love, but yet it was something that was written in 2007. So today we're looking at the relationship with the self. We're looking at the arc of human life. We're looking at how the elements in nature are really the elements inside of us, that we're awakening our spirit, our mind, and our body. Our main theme today of the workshop is a heart and mind reconnection. This is a beautiful picture of a pendant of a heart charm that has a crown for us to remember the divinity that's within. That maybe God separated himself from himself, but really we have separated our mind and our ego from our heart. And as we merge together into oneness, we awaken the heart and mind reconnection. The next slide is a journey of remembering. The picture shows a tree of life. We are born and filled with society programs, inherited ancestral beliefs, and genetic blueprints. This is the inner core of who we are. We come into this world as a child full of wonderment and purity. These are the programs that develop us, and this is an opportunity for us to listen to our inner voice. And is your inner voice positive, negative, or neutral? This is a chance for us to look at the self-love inside of us and observe who we are. We're living in duality, and our reactions create experiences of fear or love. Fears are negative and separate us from happiness and the truth. Some examples of fears being negative in our life are doubt, hatred, arrogance, jealousy, greed, and attachment. On this journey of remembering and living in duality, if we experience love, we're experiencing a positive spectrum of emotions that play a significant role in our development of well-being, such as passion, freedom, warmth, affection, and compassion. We come in with these roots that develop our trunk, our body, our branches that expand our mind into infinite wisdom beyond the limitations. I see that Liz has joined us from Ireland. Liz, it's an exciting day with the Lionsgate energy. I hope that everybody can see Liz and myself. Liz, I've just kicked off the program with a heart connection and intention. And I have just read the slide of the journey of remembering the inner core of who we came here to be, our inner voice that we talk to, and about living in duality with the experiences of fear or love. Is there anything else you would like to add to this slide for our viewers today?
I think you've said it perfectly. And I'm just going to point it where we talk about fears are negative and separate from the happiness and the truth. So the doubt, the arrogance, the jealousy, whatever it is, unknown fears that are coming in that we felt today. I felt today for sure. And there is no coincidence in that sense of they are unknown fears, and that we accept that everything is perfect just as it is. So everything has been the way it was meant to be today, right here, right now. And that's for us putting it into practice, Sandra. So I have to say, very well done to you.
Thanks, Liz. It's interesting to get the rhythm of the energy of the program, of working together. But like the elements that work in cooperation, what Liz and I have learned to do is to work in cooperation, where often we can finish each other's sentences because we stand in the empowerment and integrity and alignment of who we are. And even though we're born into this world and we're pure and innocent, we get filled once again with society programs, with genetic blueprints. So all that DNA is alive inside of us. All these generations are alive inside of us, and it's the essence of who we are. And we have the power of self-love then to bring this back on this journey of remembering. I'm going to go ahead and move to the next slide, Liz, and go ahead and have you read through it.
Thanks, Sandra. Great job. It was nice to, because you've been the person that's held everything, and it's been invaluable to me. That has really helped me to open myself up and to be confident to do this. So I thank you for that, for having my back. So it was nice to listen to you today for a change. And so thank you for that. So the power of self-love. Wow, it's a powerful thing. You can't go back and change the beginning, but we can start where we are and change the ending. So that's C.S. Lewis that wrote many books, and I'm not sure, Sandra, you can elaborate on that, but in 1973, it's connected. What brought you to that was because it was about the lion. So if you want to talk about that when I'm finished, or if you want to say something now.
Right, real quick is that Clive Lewis was a great author, and he actually died the year that JFK was shot, but he was instrumental in the novels of writing about animals talking, and one of his famous one was Chronicle of Narnia, and it was about a lion, and I just thought that it was perfect today because of the Lion's Gateway and this cosmic alignment. And this saying from 1963 that's so relevant in the now is, you cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending.
Now that's why we cooperate and work so well together. Thank you. The only constant relationship we ultimately have is with the self. So we are now beginning to unlearn our old programs and paradigms, like competition versus cooperation. We are not in competition with each other, we're cooperating. We are upgrading our brain computer database operating system. So we're changing them belief systems, that negative talk, whatever, and we're planting the seeds of more positive thought patterns and belief systems that we've learned from childhood and that we've brought in our DNA. We are awakening to a new relationship with our life, which means unity. Again, that we are not in competition, that we're all one, and how much that we can help each other, and we can elevate each other and bring each other along, because we're all parts of a whole. So we are now climbing the DNA ladder strands to a new consciousness. Change the way you look at things, and the things that you look at change, is Wayne Dyer's really powerful saying. So we are, by our thought, by our vibration, we are creating our new reality to that new consciousness. So as we think, so are we changing. And we're sending that vibration of love into our own self with our mantras and whatever. Thank you.
So how do you raise your consciousness? You know, we're looking to get to a level of self-love. So here's some practical tools that you might be able to use. The first one is to observe yourself and to become mindful of the choices that you make. With the realization is life happens and you are the one that reacts to it. It's your choice. You are the creative force in your life. We have some beautiful pictures here, and the beautiful pictures is the reflection and the self-realization that when someone mirrors something to you and you feel it, maybe you need to look inside, because nobody can make you feel anything but you. So the world is our reflection. People that come into our environment and reflect something in our mirror of life and trigger something inside of us, it's us that feels it. We need to look inside ourselves. What is your level of resistance and willingness to be the change? You know, we talk about embracing change and being the change. We have all this knowledge and it turns into wisdom, but are you living it? You know, look at your own resistance. These are patterns that we are born with. And by looking back and learning to love ourselves, we have an opportunity to manifest, to be mindful, to understand the law of attraction, and be willing to be the change. Our own resistance resides within. When we talk about the spirit, we are living in physical form, and the formlessness is consciousness. So maybe spirit is running the mind and body experience, but that spirit, not a God outside of us, is a God inside of us. We are the divine spark of the divine, and that spirit lives inside of us. And a thought to take you outside of your comfort box is maybe instead of being humans having a spiritual experience, that maybe we are spiritual beings having a human experience. As we move to the next slide, Liz, why don't you run us through the words?
Yeah, it's the power of self-love. Again, going back to what you were saying about, I think the spiritual being having the human experience. To be human, I think I'm the best human being that we can be. Helps us to elevate that consciousness, to be the best human being that we can, that our consciousness then elevates and our vibration elevates. And we see that in the sense of, you know, when you meet a certain person that you go into their company, and we know some of them, like yourself, where you feel really comfortable with them, and you feel good being around them because, you know, you can feel their heart, you can feel their kindness, you can feel their love. And to me, that is the law of attraction. So it's important that we, in that human experience, because we picked a card, and I'm just going to bring it in there before we started. And it says, I know no matter how strong and powerful I am, I can still be weak and vulnerable. And it's to show our true self as that human being is the attraction to others. That when I recognize I'm a human being who sometimes makes mistakes, that I don't get caught up in the illusion of self-importance, nor do I get caught up in the illusion of seeing myself as lesser. So thanks for that, Sandra. The power of self-love. You know, love is so much more than, you know, buying ourselves a new dress or whatever. All the experiences, including the good and the bad, have brought us to where we are now and to this present moment. So what gets us up in the morning? Is it our sense of purpose? Or is it our gratitude for the gift of life? And I'm sure that we've all had experiences where, you know, we may have been ill, we may have had things going on in our life, we may have seen others, or we may have been upset by others. But I think we can work it when we have the gratitude of life, because we have the gratitude for every experience that we're having. That we're thinking it as good or bad when it just is, and how someone can be our greatest teacher. So my gratitude for my gift of life right here, right now, is having a purpose, having my breath, and being able to get up every day and do what I do. And so my mantra there is, what do you want me to do today? Where do you want me to go? Not my will, but thine be done. So having the gratitude for the self is a big part of self-love. Having the gratitude of who you are is a huge, big part of self-love. We're grateful for everything. We're grateful for every relationship, as I've said, whether we see it as good or bad. And every situation, that we're happy with what we have and who we are. So when you have enough, you can share it with others. And how we do this, it's not always monetary. We share the bread. We share our company. We share our hearts. And we can do charity work, whatever it is. Sometimes it's just sitting, having a cup of tea with somebody. And they can walk away feeling that different person, because your heart is open and they feel listened to, wanted, and valued. So it's the littlest things that can mean so much, and that we can feel better about ourselves when we think that we've done that little small thing. Everybody, everyone is important. Everyone is that spark. And as we talk about, everyone is that star in the sky. And without that one star in the sky wouldn't be complete. Or without that grain of sand, as small as we are, that beach would not be complete. So sand has a life force and is a spark of the divine. And we are all sparks of that divine plan. Would you like to add anything to that, Sandra?
I think in the preparation of this power of self-love is, as we wrote the program, what I realized is we were like living the program every day. And I forgot the importance of gratitude and, you know, being able to get up in the morning and say, I am everything I ever dreamed that I would be. I am self-mastery in action. You know, this abundant life that we have available, that gratitude and self-love are just intertwined, just like the body and the mind are intertwined. The power of self-love is based on our gratitude for life, for realizing that every moment is a gift, and that we are living in the now, and that we can release the past that we have no control on, and we could have a choice of worrying, of releasing the worry of the future, which is the anxiety, to have more time in the present moment, to love life through your breath, through nature, through gratitude.
Beautiful. And you said a lovely word there, intertwined. And when we were talking about the DNA, I see when you're saying it as a visual, the love and the gratitude being intertwined is changing our DNA, is changing our cellular memory, and is changing our consciousness. So beautiful.
Thank you. So now we'll get an opportunity being reconnected with Liz for her to play some of the ancient Tibetan bowls. Liz, why don't you tell them a bit about, for those that are joining us for the first time, about the frequency of the bowls and what they could do for a cellular clearing on our body.
Okay, so the ancient Tibetan bowls are about a vibration and a sound healing. So every one of us is resonating at a vibration and a consciousness. So disease is stagnation within our body, or things that get stuck, our emotions get stuck. And I suppose I'll bring in a little bit there about the water. If we're not hydrated, it becomes even more stuck in our system and our mind, chatter, and whatever it is. So what the bowls do is, I found them really powerful for me as I do the classes myself. The bowls are set at a vibration. Each bowl is a vibration of each chakra. Now, you don't have to have the whole set. You can just actually send the intention, if you have one bowl, to remove the obstacles of whatever is holding you back. So we're releasing fear programs. And this, for instance, this sound, is the sound of the heart chakra. So, you know, most of us live our life in general when we talk to people. If you think about it, being in fear of the present and not being in the now. Post-traumatic stress, if we've been through different situations in our life where we're holding on to that, and that's a stagnation in our body. So, or it's an energy in our body, whatever you'd like to call it, whatever appeals to you. So, as we know, fear is false evidence appearing real. And 99, if they want to measure it, of things that we fear may never, ever happen. So if we're stuck in that falseness of that fear, we may never live our life to its full capacity. So I love the bowls in that sense, because they've been known, they are known that the vibration of the bowls can remove that energy and can release that energy and bring us into a higher vibration, basically. The more that we release, as we say, emotion, the more that we release, the more that it's bringing in our creativity, our, and basically for our heart as well. Most of us, our biggest program is about being loved, or closing our heart down because we've been hurt, or bringing it in from a generation, an intergenerational, where our heart has been closed down for whatever reason. So what we're doing is, bit by bit, and you know, ourself and our consciousness knows what we need and when we need it, and gives us synchronistic situations like here, like now. And so we use them to release our energy blocks. So for myself, what we're going to do today, so we hear that remove the ties that bind. Whatever way you want to look at it, it's all energy. So I usually go into a heart space and I use the heart energy. And I've been amazed at myself and others how, when they go into that heart space, how they actually feel. That's where we're all hiding, in that heart and in that soul. So we're bringing our mind down to the heart. So that's the heart and the mind connection. And we're going to rest in that little place in our heart, that we're going to actually feel the vibration of the sound, and we're going to feel that self-love within us. And it's amazing feeling and vibration. And you are doing it for you when you bring yourself into that space. So patience and time, be gentle with yourself. So we're going to do a short, very short meditation with sound on forgiveness of self and others. So we're going to bring ourselves with the sound into our heart. We're going to do a visual if you want to close your eyes. And we're going to do a little visual. And what we're going to do is, if there's anything, emotion that's within our heart now, within our body now, that's affecting us in any way, that we're going to forgive ourselves, set the intention that we're going to forgive ourselves, or forgive another if we're ready, to free us up, to love ourselves even more. So when you're ready, close your eyes and we'll go into that space. Go into that little space within the heart now. Remember, remember, remember who you are. The divine spark, the pure love. And as we go into our heart space now, we imagine and look at our heart and we visualize our heart. And as we visualize our heart, we bring in the color green. And the color green is around the heart, is our heart protector, the pericardium, that holds every experience of every lifetime. We're going to breathe into our heart now. We go into the heart center, the rose, the color pink. And we're going to bring in the scent of the rose. We're going to release and let go now of energy, any energy within our heart that we're let go of. On the out breath, letting go of the fear, the anxiety, the thoughts of self-sabotage now. Bringing in the light, the scent of the rose, the wonder of who we really are. Feel the energy of that self-love now. On the out breath, feeling lighter and lighter as we let go of the fear, of the anxiety, and forgiveness of self and others. What is your heart's desire? What else would you like to bring in to your heart, to your being? Feel the vibration of your heart. Feel the love in your heart. And on the out breath, any residue of any anxiety or stress, anything now you're ready to let go of, with your feet firmly on the ground, send it back to Mother Earth. Replace your programs. Moving forward, we're bringing in the program of self-love. And our program of self-love, as we move forward, as we take action, is for gratitude. It's for prayer in whichever way that we do our prayer, our mantras, our meditation, how we sit in that intention, mindfulness. We empower ourselves. We do not self-sabotage. We say positive affirmations. We learn to say no. We say no to ourselves sometimes as well as to others. If we're feeling tired, I can do it tomorrow. We rid ourselves of them old programs of pushing ourselves to the limit, of resting, of being at peace, and having gratitude for that space that we have of non-doing. When we are non-doing, we can be in a space of rebooting our system, regenerating our system, regenerating our cellular memory. When we slow down, we give our body a chance to reboot and mend. We take responsibility in action. We go for walks maybe. We sit in nature. The rose has one of the highest vibrations of love. Even to smell a rose, we're in that vibration of love. Our satsang, we sit with loving people. We speak love. We do not criticize ourselves or others. If we're having a situation where we're having a problem with others, what we do is if we're looking for some answers, we do not judge that person because we're having that experience. We look at what way that we can deal with it, not pointing the finger out. If we're in that place of self-love, we do not judge. We do not think we're more, and we do not think we're less. So we practice whatever it is that we practice, being in nature, being in our satsang, whatever practice that resonates with you. Believe that you can, and you're halfway there. And as we said today, Sandra, we're here because we've actually practiced a lot of these things before we even came on today. You know, the fears and whatever anxieties we've had and whatever. And you've done a beautiful job of putting the symbols together and the daisies, the simplicity, just the pure simplicity of the daisy and the purity of the beauty. Is there anything you'd like to say there, Sandra?
Yes, I think it's learning to love ourselves again. And the path of that self-love is our heart and mind reconnection. And it brings me back to one of the first slides in the beginning where Wayne Dyer, the inspiring author, said, change your thoughts and change your life. So maybe we really do create our own reality with our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And we have choices. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. We have been given this new self-reflection time and have an opportunity to follow our own heart. Possibly this Zoom workshop on the power of self-love could be a catalyst for you today. With the realization is that the consciousness is alive inside of us. And during these challenging times, realizing that this is a new cycle of history and that we're writing a new ending of our life with an opportunity to merge our spirit, mind, and body into the oneness. Thank you, Liz, for the sound healing. The bowls are an amazing way to release the distractions and listen again to our breath. We can release these fear programs of being stuck in victimhood, of entrapment and grief. And like a computer, taking off the old programs of toxic, entrapped energy, of this mental hard drive, of this operating system of your brain, of your mind, is you can replace them with these self-love programs and take responsibility of your life with action, through breath, through movement, and through nature therapy. As we're wrapping up our program and moving to the last slide, something that's always remained in my life is with God, everything is possible. That maybe we've forgotten the keys of wisdom, that we're here to self-discover and explore life. We forgot that we're here to have fun and the joy. But these experiences lead us to lessons. The lessons of what I refer to in this slide as the me, we, thee, the spirit, mind, and the body, the Trinity awakening inside of us. That we have the knowledge and the wisdom to remember our journey back to self-love, which in essence is the path of our own God self home. Closing now with our last slide as we wrap up this part 1 series of the spirit, mind, and body. We hope that this information will give you the knowledge to awaken your inner power, to awaken your inner wisdom, to realize that spirituality and science are now bridged, that brings around this new consciousness and this new evolution. The evolution of being the best we could be, letting that inner child out to play, to enjoy life, to realize the power of self-love, that we are here to experience love. And that this self-love could be a self-healing. The next session we'll be doing, and Liz will talk a few minutes about it, is the self-healing, the emotional pain body, going back to the elements of the earth and the elements inside of our body, the chakra, the rainbow, the arc of the relationship of our life connected with nature. It's an amazing path, looking at the sparkle of water. We've learned to bless our food, but in the next 2 theories, we're going to learn to bless our water. Go ahead, Liz, and can you wrap it up about the water?
Okay, thanks, Sandra. Thank you very much. Yes, the water will heal the planet because the planet is 2/3 of water. Our body is 70% of water. And that every drop, and we go to the sacred sites and we hear the water is blessed. And we have that capability within our own self, within our own planet, to heal our bodies through the water, through setting the intentions. It's been proven that even with radiation, that we can, it's left an imprint, but if we've used water and set the intention, that's actually healed that radiation. So they're powerful, powerful scientific experiments that can be backed up. And we're bringing it down to a very simple level where Emoto is one of the masters of the water and shows the consciousness. And I've done it with many children as well. It's a really powerful exercise that you can send that love to that water by your intention, and how that water, and they've done it in India, how they've changed the water from stagnated water to water that they could drink. You know, it may not look different, but under a microscope, the water was pure. So it's amazing stuff. And what we're doing is we're bringing it down to a level where it's as simple as possible, that because that's who we are really. We complicate things, but we're simple beings. And we're so amazing. How amazing are we that by our thought and by our intention, that we can heal water, that we can heal the planet, that we can expand our consciousness with all the intentions of gratitude, peace, and self-love. How amazing are we? So I'm really looking forward to the next step. And again, we'll obviously know that we will be doing our own exercises during the next 2 weeks. We'll be walking the walk. So as the water holds a memory, every time that I drink the water, and our consciousness and know that it can affect or transform the molecular structure of the body. But also remember your thoughts, as we say in the water. So be careful of your thoughts towards yourself and others. So we send the water in our body, which is 70% love, love, love. And we wish everybody on this call and out to that universe, love, love, love. And remember, we're going to finish off with this. We were speaking about the card that we picked earlier. I choose love over fear. When an obstacle arises in any of my relationships or in my life, I can replace any fearful feelings with those of love. So thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
And once again, the most intimate relationship we have is with ourselves. Friends and family come and go in our lives. And we have the tools now, the practical tools, to remember the journey home back to self-love. So that we hope that you've enjoyed this webinar. It started off a little bit challenging, but the next 2 series will be able to provide you some additional information. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now so that